The movie kicks off with Agashi. At the start of New Year's Day, he's chilling with Tony, getting totally wasted on drugs, powders, and booze. He tells him, "Do you remember that fine boy named Feroz?" He replies, "Yeah, my friend, I remember him, but that boy is not a real one. Imagine, I brought him from his village as a beggar, gave him a job, and hooked him and his family up with a place to stay. But when I asked him for a favor, he rejected it. Imagine what the favor was. I told him, the tourists coming here, show them some hospitality, a couple of joints of weed, and a couple of joints of bang. Keep the customers happy, my brother." Imagine, he told me this isn't right, and when I pressured him, he wanted to snitch on me to the police, so I just killed him. He deserved it, my brother, but what did you do with the body? He tells him, "I threw it into the waterfalls." Like, would I fail to handle it? Forget about him. He's a useless boy. Let's celebrate New Year now. Today, my family's coming over to visit me. Suddenly, he strikes him from behind and tells his assistant, "Check if he's dead or not yet." He replies, "Not yet, boss." He gets close to him, looks for his heartbeat, and tells him, "My heart is right here, and since we are killers just like each other, our hearts are in the exact same place." And he finishes him off completely. When he goes out, the violent beast Advait calls him and says, "I want to report a murder." He replies, "Report it to your own police station." He tells him, "I haven't killed him yet, but I'll kill him in a little bit." He laughs and tells him, "Today is Christmas, not April Fool's Day." He snaps back, "Happy winter solstice," and hangs up right in his face. And this right here is Michael, a special forces officer, and this is his wife, Teresa. They are celebrating the New Year surrounded by the lovely family. And his wife's mother tells him, "Hey boy, Michael, put some effort into it. We want to see your kids." Or what do you think, Teresa? She doesn't like this talk and stays glued to her phone. She goes into the kitchen to grab some sweets and forgets her phone inside. Michael enters the kitchen and finds the phone, and a text comes in from someone telling her, "Today is Christmas. You need to be in my arms." And she had also sent him messages saying, "I haven't asked Michael for a divorce yet." The person replies to her, "Forget about that moo-moo completely. Today I'm coming to take you." Teresa walks in on him and says, "Your colleagues want you outside." He tells her, "I want to tell you something. I love you." At the same time, Advait goes to finish off his first victim, Officer Victor. He bursts in on him and starts smashing his bones. Victor tells him, "I beg you, have mercy on me. I have nothing to do with this." But ruthlessly, he pulls out a high-dose sedative needle and stabs it into his neck, ties him up with a rope, hangs him like a slaughtered animal, leaves him, and walks away. Meanwhile, Officer Michael and his colleagues find out what happened to their buddy and head over to the crime scene. His assistant tells him the victim was tortured in the most brutal ways before he died, and 99% the criminal's goal was robbery. He answers him, "No, this isn't a robbery. This is cold-blooded murder."
The assistant says, "The deceased was an officer, and he was also part of our forces." Michael fires back, "I know, he was my best friend." Right then, Agashi replies to him saying, "You see, this friend of yours reminds me of a medal hanging around my neck. Looks like the criminal was having a blast killing him." Michael asks him, "And what brings you here anyway? The case belongs to us. We don't need any interference from the crime branch." Agashi says, "And who told you I came here to work? I just came to watch. Actually, the criminal called me before he killed your buddy, so I told myself I should come see if this criminal is joking or challenging me, and you know me very well. I am the king of challenges." Michael answers him, "Everyone knows how you operate, but this business of executing people before the law passes judgment won't fly with me. I'm a man who goes by the book. I bring the criminal in, interrogate him inside the station, and the court is the one to sentence him, not me killing him before the verdict." Agashi says, "And do you think the criminal who killed your buddy is just an ordinary guy? This is a violent beast who knows no fear. And from what I think, your buddy's death was just the beginning. Just wait and see. Tonight is going to be a night straight out of hell." At this moment, Advait unties the first knot on the bracelet he's wearing, waiting for Jesse, who is bringing him the dosage for the second victim. Meanwhile, Michael talks to his boss saying, "Officer Victor took a very strong drug dose, and it seems that was the cause of his death. This drug is sold by guys from Nigeria. We grabbed one of them, and our team is interrogating him right now." But when Michael steps inside, he finds Officer Agashi doing the interrogation, telling the guy, "Hurry up, my boy. Department orders. Hurry up, my dear." The suspect says, "But how, boss, would I sell drugs here when I don't even know how to speak Hindi?" So he pulls out his gun on him. The guy says, "What's up, boss? Are you gonna kill me or what?" Agashi answers him, "If I wanted to kill you, I would have done it a long time ago. But this gun has many uses. I can use it as a hammer, and I can use it as a Phillips screwdriver." At this moment, Michael walks in and pushes him away, saying, "What you're doing is wrong. We must handle him according to the law." But Agashi is dead set on his ways, so Michael raises his weapon at him. Agashi says, "What are you waiting for? Shoot!" So Michael shoots, but the gun turns out to be empty. Right here, the criminal confesses, saying, "The one I got the drugs from is a white girl. Her hair is afro-curly like Mohammed Salah, my friend, and she has a tattoo like Messi, but I don't know her name." Michael leaves him and goes out, telling his men the description of the girl they will be searching for. At this moment, Agashi walks out to him and says, "Don't look too hard. Your buddy Victor's death is an old grudge." Michael tells him, So be it, my friend, and his family must get their rights through the law. Agashi snaps back, the law will never quench their fire. Michael says, then what do you want us to do? Should we go kill him? That way we'll become criminals just like him.
Right then, Advait calls Agashi again, so they put him on a tracking device. Agashi tells him, soon I will catch you and make you regret the day you messed up. You don't know who I am. Advait answers him, on the contrary, I know you very well. You love confrontation, and you kill the guilty before they get sentenced. Agashi asks him, who are you and what do you want? Advait replies, your job is to find out who I am. As for what I want another police officer. Agashi and Michael are shocked, and Advait tells him, happy winter solstice, and hangs up the phone right in their faces. The guy sitting on the tracking device tells them, the criminal is currently at a party in Panjim, and half the police force is deployed there. Meanwhile, the two of them lead a security force and hit the road to get him. At this party, Officer Salgankar is present with his family, and right from the middle of the party, Advait kidnaps him, takes him to a faraway place, and throws him like a ball onto some barrels. The officer tells him, are you crazy? I'm a police officer. Don't you know what could happen to you? At this moment, Advait tears off the mask and tells him, you just watch what's about to happen to you, and starts smashing his bones, torturing him in the most brutal ways before giving him the drug injection. Meanwhile, Itachi notices the dog barking in front of him, so he heads towards the dog while Advait completely shatters the officer's bones, pulls out the syringe, and stabs it into his neck. Agashi approaches the spot, and as soon as he gets there, he finds Salgankar thrown right in front of him. Advait looks at him, and Agashi is just about to burst in on him, but Advait escapes from him. He blends into the crowd wearing the exact same clothes, passes right next to him, takes off the mask, and vanishes.
Meanwhile, journalists swarm the crime scene, and this one reporter wants to film the dead officer's wife. At this moment, Michael tells them, take the camera from him, and they actually seize it. The journalist tells him, just because you're a cop, huh? If you think you're a real man, go prove your manhood to your wife. Right then, Michael loses his temper and goes to beat him up, but his colleagues hold him back, and Agashi tells him, what's this? You can't do that. Michael replies, my bad, I'm sorry. The officer who got killed was my buddy. He was a really good guy, and his wife and son have nobody else but him. Agashi tells him, go get some rest and leave this criminal to me. I'll bring him in. Someone from the force tells them, we got new updates. The criminal is currently at Fatorda Stadium, and Officer Jadov is listening to the match there. They move out immediately, and indeed, Advait is right there, monitoring Officer Jadov's movements, walking behind him. But suddenly, Officer Jadov stops dead in his tracks and tells them, where do you think you're going? Do you think you're going to walk out of prison and kill us all in a single day? At the same time, while Michael is on the road, he spots Jessie, who fits the exact description they're looking for, so he changes his route and goes after her. At this moment, Advait is facing more than 100 men. Do you think they'll be able to stop him, my friend? I swear it's not happening. The lights go out on them, and he starts breaking their bones one by one. And even though they're all armed, not a single bullet hits him. And as your recap star, I'm telling you, he finishes every single one of them off. Then he takes off sprinting after Jadov until he reaches the roof of the stands and starts thrashing him and torturing him the exact same way he tortured the previous two. But he doesn't give this one the injection. Jadov is on the verge of falling off the roof, but Advait catches him. So Jadov tells him, I beg you, don't let me go. Advait stares closely at his face and gets shocked, and suddenly Jadov finds himself airborne and crashes right onto a police car. At this point, all hell breaks loose, and Advait is just about to flee the scene, but Agashi busts him and keeps beating him up. But the strange thing is, Advait completely surrenders and tells him the night is over. That's it. Meanwhile, Michael has reached Jessie. He bangs on the door, but she won't open up, and she keeps splashing 92-octane petrol all over the wall. At this moment, Michael kicks the door open and finds her setting the wall on fire. She hits him with a chair, so he shoves her away from him, and when he looks at the wall, he finds a whole blueprint drawn out for the deaths of his entire crew. And he is completely shocked to find himself among the victims. Jessie tells him he won't have mercy on any of you. He will destroy all of you. And Agashi is right on the verge of locking Advait up, but the match ends, and the crowd pours out of the stands, so he vanishes among them. And suddenly, he pops up right in front of him, surrenders, and tells him, you're just imagining things. The party isn't over yet. Happy winter solstice. They load him into the police truck and report to Michael that they've busted Advait. Agashi keeps staring at him and tells his assistant, I feel like I know this guy. I'm absolutely sure I've seen him somewhere before. But Advait is just sitting there unbothered, totally drowned in a sea of memories. Can you guess why he's killing these officers and why he's doing all of this, my friend? Let me tell you from the very beginning. 5 years ago, there was this girl named Sarah who got sick and tired of everything around her and decided to travel anywhere to live her life and do whatever she felt like. On her way to the airport, she gives that beggar her phone and laptop, and apparently the beggar didn't even care. Back where we're from, if you give a beggar $1, they'll keep praying for you until you meet again. Anyway, she enters the airport and picks the province she'll fly to. choosing Goa. And Advait is on the exact same wavelength, wanting to unplug from everything and live his life for a bit. He gathers up his family photos and dumps them in the trash before leaving. Clearly, they were a trash family. Anyway, he also travels to Goa, and they both arrive there. And at night, Advait goes to a party, and here comes the coincidence. Sarah is also at the party, standing right next to him. He looks at her and falls in love with her at first sight. Right then, the police show up and everybody starts running, but Sarah just stands her ground, and Advait gets surprised when he finds her stretching out her hand to him. He pulls her, grabs her, and gets on the bike. Man, lucky bike. Anyway, she tells him, "I'm surprised. Why did everyone run away when the police came?" He tells her, "Parties like this have heroin, cocaine, and hash, which is weed, my friend. I mean, they should have just called it hashtag. That would have been cooler." Anyway, she says, "Wow, don't you know another party we can hit? It's only 10 p.m. The night is still young." He answers her, "All right, deal."
And indeed, they go to another party and she asks him, "So where are the people selling the drugs?" He tells her, "Trust me, they're definitely around. Wait for me here." At this moment, she sees Jesse playing along with that guy just to get those 2 pills from him. She takes them from him, looks at Sarah, stares at her for a moment, and tells her, "Come here, girl." She goes to her and Jesse asks, "Did you come here for real fun or just to pass time?" She says, "Wow, the way you talk is dope. I want 2 pills." At this moment, Advait tells her, "No, we don't want anything, thanks." She asks them, "Did you guys come together?" Sarah says, "Yeah." Jesse asks, "Is it a temporary thing or are you guys going all the way together?" Sarah says, "We haven't made that decision yet." Jesse tells her, "All right, take these, and I don't want your money. They're on me." Advait takes the bag from her and tells Sarah, "This pill is super strong. We'll split one. You take half and I'll take half." She takes the bag from him, pops a whole pill, hands him the second one, and unties a knot from the bracelet she's wearing. Advait is completely shocked by what she just did. Right then, she gets close to him and says, "Just let yourself go completely." He lets himself go, my friend, and man, I wish he hadn't. The girl takes him to the sea, and they have an absolute legendary session under the water. Someone might tell me, without marriage recap, no, my friend, the dolphin was the priest under the water. Anyway, he wakes up the next day and doesn't find her next to him. She's sitting on the beach, putting on her bracelet. He tells her, "Let me help you out. Why are you so obsessed with this bracelet anyway? And what's the deal with the knots in it?" She tells him, "These knots represent my fears." He asks her, "And what are you afraid of?" She tells him, "A lot of things. For example, yesterday I was afraid of drugs and I did drugs. So now I'm no longer afraid of drugs. I was afraid of meeting a stranger and wilding out together. And yesterday I met you and we wilded out." He tells her, "Very nice. So what happened between us yesterday was just a knot for you." She says, "Exactly." He says, "All right. And what else are you afraid of but really want to do?" She tells him, "Skydiving from a plane, eating weird food, smoking drugs, cigarettes. Oh my God, look at that ambition." Anyway, she asks him, "And you, what do you plan to do? Are you going to travel somewhere else or stay here?" He tells her, "Nah, I'm still hanging around here for a bit. After that, maybe I'll go to Shimla." She says, "Cool, I hope you enjoy your trip. All right, I'll leave you now." He says, "So this is how it ends between us?" She tells him, "Exactly. All right, bye." He says, "Okay, what's your phone number?" She tells him, "I don't have a phone." He says, "All right, my name is Advait." She says, "And I'm Sarah." And she leaves him and walks away. I mean, after everything that happened yesterday, they didn't even know each other's names. Oh my God, have mercy on us. Anyway, a few days later, he runs into her again. He tells her, "See, the world is as small as the eye of a needle." She asks him, "Weren't you supposed to go to Shimla? What brought you back again?" He tells her, "After deep thinking, I told myself it's better to stay with you so we can untie the knots in your bracelet together." They go upstairs and he tells her, "Look at the view." She tells him she's afraid of heights and asks if he is too. He replies, "Shame on you. I've jumped off the Eiffel Tower before." She says, "All right, let's go." He gets terrified and asks what she's going to do, so she grabs his hand and takes him down. They go underwater, come back up, and jump again. The point is, my friend, they jump a lot. And just like that, she breaks another one of her fears. From here on, my friend, they spend most of their time together doing everything side by side and living their lives with no limits or calculations, doing whatever they want. I wish I was with them, my friend. After that, they get on a plane and jump out of it. And day after day, Sarah breaks a new complex and shatters her fear of certain things. Anyway, they can't bear to be apart for even a single second, so they move into one house together, and Sarah falls in love with him, just like he fell in love with her at first sight. She tells him, "We're going to make a deal from now on. We live only for ourselves. No friends, no family, nothing to mess up our lives. Deal?" He says, "Deal."
Jesse hooks them up with all kinds of drugs. The girl is a serious dealer. But in the middle of a party, she takes an overdose of drugs and passes out.
They rush her to the hospital, and when she wakes up, they go in to check on her. She says, "Thank you for standing by me." They tell her, "Man, you scared us to death. Who was gonna fix our mood after you? That was the best piece of hash I've ever had from you, Jesse." Then they ask her why she took that massive amount of drugs. She says, "What do you want me to do? Death is a mercy for someone like me because no one cares about me." Sarah asks her, "What do you mean? Why are we here then? And where's your boyfriend Micah?" She replies, "Micah? I only offer myself to him just to get drugs. A few years ago, I came here on a vacation just like you guys. I had a lot of money, my self-confidence was high, and my recklessness was even higher. I was super wild. I thought I'd spend a few days and go back to my family, but I got addicted to drugs and living here." They get a little touched by her story, leave her, and head to the beach. Sarah tells him, "We calculated it all wrong. Living without calculations holds zero safety for us." He asks her, "And for you, where is the safety?" She replies, "I'll tell you something weird. I guess it's being among my family. On Christmas Day, my dad used to make so many surprises for us. He'd bring us gifts, and even though they were simple things, we all enjoyed them, and he would keep dancing with my mom all night long." He tells her, "All right, get up and come with me," and takes her to this house. She asks him, "What are you doing? This house isn't ours." He says, "Just come," and they sneak inside like thieves. He tells her to put on this dress, and when she comes out, she finds he has set up a romantic vibe just like this. She gets so happy and laughs at him because he forgot to put his pants on at that moment. She runs to him and kisses him, and they spend the night by candlelight. Someone might ask me, still without marriage, "My friend, where am I supposed to get a priest in the middle of the night?" Let's just make an excuse for them. Anyway, the next day, Sarah takes a test and turns out to be pregnant. She can't face Advait and tell him she's pregnant. In the midst of her confusion, she hears this girl talking to her father saying, "Dad, if I told you, would you have let me go out?" He replies, "Of course not." So she says, "That's exactly why I didn't tell you." He says to her, "You have absolutely no respect. Keep in mind that I am your father and I'm worried about you." Now, who is her dad, my friend? It's Officer Advait, who was still in the prime of his youth and a man who knows the law perfectly. He tells her, "My daughter, you don't even have a driver's license?" She replies, "My dad is an officer. I'll drive without a license." He says, "So be it. We are all under the law, and the law says we must drive with a license." She says, "All right, Dad, enough. I'll be home at 10. Don't call me again." He asks her to let him know where she is, but she says she'll tell him when she gets back, and hangs up. She records a video for him saying, "Don't be mad, Dad, but I just wanted to go out and live freely for a bit. Please don't be upset with me, for my sake." At this time, the assistant tells him, "Boss, we have to break the bones of this guy named Nigel." Agashi replies, "Our mission is to arrest him, not go beat him up like thugs. Open a case file and we will go arrest him, interrogate him, and lock him up." He tells him, "But boss, we already locked him up before and he got out after 6 months and is selling drugs again." Agashi insists, "So be it. We'll arrest him and lock him up again, but using violence is a no." "Where is he right now?" He tells him he's at a party and waves, so Agashi says, "Let's go." Meanwhile, Sarah tells Advait the pregnancy and he gets shocked. She tells him, "Don't worry, I'll abort it." Right then, Agashi and his men arrive at the place to bust Nigel, but Nigel grabs Sarah and threatens them that he will kill her. At this moment, Advait tries to calm everyone down, terrified for Sarah, but a clash breaks out between them. The cops wipe out Nigel and his crew, and Sarah makes it out safely, but the one who takes the hit is Agashi's daughter, and he didn't even know his daughter was at the party. In that moment, he runs to her and keeps screaming. Sarah gets deeply shaken by the scene, goes home, and keeps thinking about what just unfolded right in front of her eyes. Advait comes out to her, and she says, "I thought what's in my belly meant nothing, but I was wrong. I won't have an abortion. I won't kill a child with my own hands," she says, leaving him completely shocked. Officer Agashi burns his daughter's body, and after that, he turns into a raging beast who knows neither law nor mercy. Any criminal gets executed on the spot. To escape the pain of losing his daughter, he goes down the path of drugs and draws tattoos all over his hands. His life is totally ruined, and he tries to end it more than once, but just can't. Anyway, Advait goes to Sarah to say goodbye while she's sleeping because he made up his mind that he's leaving and never coming back to her. He actually packs his stuff and walks away. She wakes up and finds out he left her and is gone. Even though he was the one who decided to walk away, he just can't forget her, and she doesn't leave his mind for a single second. And Sarah is heartbroken, not knowing how to forget him or what to do, while she keeps looking for him in every place they used to hang out together. Meanwhile, the world closes in on Advait, so he goes to his lifelong best friend. The moment his friend sees him, he slaps him. Advait says, "Man, come on, don't be mad." His friend replies, "Bro, if a stranger invited you, you would have gone to his wedding." Advait tells him, "It was out of my hands. Reassure me, how is married life treating you?" He replies, "It's pure trash, man." Advait asks, "Why, man? Everything good?"
He says, where is the good supposed to come from? It's a life full of drama. A lot of times there's pressure at work, so I get stuck working late against my will, and of course, she's waiting me on time with dinner ready. When I get home late, it's a living hell, man. She wants me to talk to her all day long. I'm not free. My hands are tied with work. The problem is there's nothing to even say, but we still have to talk.
A guy really misses the bachelor days, bro. Remember when we used to toss our clothes into our shoes and do the laundry in the kitchen? It was enough that there was no interrogation waiting for you when you got home. Nah, my friend, marriage isn't cool at all. Advait asks him, then what's making you put up with her? Divorce her. He stays quiet for a bit and says, I can't. I bought a tiny house, and this wife of mine turned it into paradise. I can't live without her. Plus, I miss her, and she's waiting for us to celebrate Christmas. Come with me. I have to introduce you to her. And he actually takes him along. His wife, as usual, is waiting for him at the door. He runs to her and keeps sweet-talking her while Advait watches them from a distance. He tells her, this is my friend Advait. He didn't come to the wedding. He had some issues going on. Right then, Advait hugs him tight and says, I love you so much, my friend. His friend asks him, where are you going? And he replies, going back home. He's actually on his way to his house and to the love of his life, Sarah. He gets there, asks this guy about her, and the guy tells him, you'll find her at Jesse's place.
So he sprints straight to Jesse's, knocks on the door, but nobody answers. Then he hears something shattering inside, so he smashes the door open. At that exact moment, his train of thought gets cut off because he arrives at the police station. Of course, my friend, you forgot he was just having a flashback. Anyway, we snap back to the present. Agache tells Michael, I'm gonna go in, shoot him, and be done with it. Michael says, no, I'm going in to interrogate him by the book. He needs to confess to every crime he committed. Agache retorts, what book? A guy like this has been plotting for years. You think he's gonna confess just like that? Let the law work for you then. And he leaves him and walks away. Michael walks in on him and asks, why all of this? Advait replies, you tell me. Why did he do that? And he starts telling him what went down. He says, on New Year's Eve, my buddies and I were at the gym. Victor, Yadav, and Saugankar. One of them asks him, what do you say you come with us to the match and we party a bit with the cheerleaders? He says, nah man, you guys go ahead. He tells him, son, listen, you're about to get married. They're gonna put you under a curfew. Just then, this girl walks past them and they catcall her. Victor tells them, guys, this ain't right. You're literally married, bro. He shoots back, married but starving like lions. It's because you haven't tried it yet, Victor, but I know a girl who's an absolute bombshell boy. Yadav says, Jesse? He confirms, yeah, her. We'll take you there to teach you what being a man is all about. And they laugh at him. But the one who gets triggered and reaches his boiling point is Michael, completely losing it, as if those words were aimed right at him. Afterwards, he goes to meet his fiancée, Teresa. She tells him, I'm so happy because we're getting married. She gets close to him, kisses him, and is about to take things further, but he grabs her hands. She says, I'm sorry. And he tells her, save that for after the wedding. You really are a gentleman, Brother Michael. Anyway, he leaves her, walks away, and calls Yadav. He says, give me the address of the girl you guys were talking about at the gym. He actually gives him the address, and he heads straight to Jesse's. Meanwhile, Sarah is over there telling her what happened with Advait. Jesse tells her, everything is going to be okay, don't worry. I'll go grab us a couple of bottles of booze so we can celebrate Christmas. She literally walks out from here, and Michael steps in from there. Sarah asks him, who are you? He throws cash at her saying, take this. She asks, what's all this? And he says, come on, get to work. She says, no, you got it all wrong. I don't run this joint. He replies, cut the drama. Take this money too. Take whatever you want. I know your type loves cash. Come on now, do your job. She yells at him, take your money, you trash, and get out. He tries to speak, but she screams, out! Every guy with some complex wants to fix it at a woman's expense just to feel his non-existent manhood. He slams the door shut, turns back to her, and says, hold on. Teach me how to be a man then. Go ahead, show me the meaning of manhood. He steps away from her and keeps chanting, I am a man. I am strong. I don't have any problems. Nobody is gonna know that I'm getting married, and my wife will live miserably with me. She tells him, don't be scared. I won't tell anyone. At this moment, Advait knocks on the door. She runs to open it for him, but Michael grabs her. He whispers menacingly, you're gonna tell them, right? You're gonna tell them that Michael wasn't a real man with me. You're gonna tell them I have a problem and I'm not like other guys. He keeps gripping her neck. Advait is just about to walk away, but this thing falls and makes a noise. At this exact second, Advait smashes the door down, breaks it open, and is utterly shocked to find Sarah inside. He charges at Michael, who can't do a single thing to stop him, catches a brutal beating, half to death. He's just about to finish him off, but Sarah whacks him with this bottle, and he drops cold on the spot. They call the cops, and the ones patrolling that district happen to be his buddies, so they arrive at the scene. Advait tells them, we have no idea who this is. He broke into the house while I was out. Victor says, "All right, you two are coming with us to the precinct to take your statements." And they actually take them. On the way there, Sarah keeps crying, and Advait cries too. He tells her, "I was scared. I was terrified of the responsibility. I wasn't ready for this step at all, but I was stupid. I'm sorry for my stupidity. I'll never leave you again, Sarah. It's impossible for me to leave you, no matter what happens." Right then, she grabs his hands, places them on her belly, and says, "I'm the one who's never letting you slip away from me again." May it happen to you, my friend. Anyway, Victor tells them to step out. They say, "But this isn't the police station." He immediately starts throwing hands at him left and right. Sarah speaks up, so they beat her too, and then go right back to beating up Advait. Just then, a car passes by and Sarah flags it down for help, but the guy inside the car is none other than Michael. She freezes in shock. He starts closing in on her and brutally beats her down without mercy. And Advait, even though he's right next to her, can't do a single thing to help her. In that moment, they snap his arm and completely cripple him, my friend. Michael's buddies tell him, "This isn't Jesse at all. This is someone else. We just landed in deep trouble." But Michael has the fix. He pulls out a syringe loaded with a hardcore narcotic. Advait is helpless, unable to move an inch, and Sarah begs him, "Please, I'm pregnant." But totally ruthless, he stabs the needle into her neck and says, "Happy winter solstice."
At this point, Advait crawls to her and holds her in his arms, but these dogs rip her away from him, hit him with the exact same narcotic injection, pick Sarah up, and toss her into the water. After that, they drag him to the police station, torture him endlessly, and frame him for Sarah's murder. And Michael, of course, throws a huge wedding and gets married. As for Advait, Sarah never leaves his mind, and he feels like she's right next to him through his darkest times and his grief over her. But Michael's flaws get exposed right after the wedding. The second his wife gets close to him, sorry, the connection is lost. Every time she gets near him, he backs off. He continues his talk with Advait, saying, "The issues I had were all because of my dad. He used to beat my mom, and my mom would take all her rage out on me. She used to tell me, 'You're just like your father. All men are the same kind of trash.' She terrified me so much that I lost all my self-confidence. I was so scared that it literally stripped away my manhood. And when I grew up, my only thought was, how would I look in front of people if they found out I wasn't a real man? If anybody knew, everyone would mock me. And Sarah was the only one who figured out my flaw. She knew my flaw from the very first encounter we had, so I had to kill her right then. Otherwise, my reputation would be destroyed. I also want to let you know that today I killed your buddy Jesse, and before I killed her, I lived the best moments of my life with her, and I was overjoyed when I found out that I am a man and don't have any defects. And all the credit goes to you, because you brought Sarah and Jesse into my life. But Sarah was way better than Jesse, because Sarah was the very first girl I ever hooked up with." Right then, Advait shatters the chair and stands up to break his bones, but the cops pull him back. Michael leaves him be, walks out, and goes straight to Advait. He tells him, "You were right, he's a savage criminal. The law won't work on him. Deal with him your way. If you need anything, give me a call." Advait tells him, "Send away every officer in the precinct and let me handle this thug." Michael asks if he needs anything else. Advait replies, "Listen, you're a better man than me. I'm a criminal who doesn't know the law. As for Advait, I'll make him regret the day he was born." Michael says, "All right, happy winter solstice." Advait is stunned, and he remembers that right before every crime Advait committed, he used to tell him that exact same phrase, "Happy winter solstice." In that moment, he focuses on the video of his daughter and realizes that the girl standing behind his daughter is the exact same one who was with Advait the day he raided the spot where his daughter died. He asks his assistant, "What does happy winter solstice mean?" He replies, "That's a phrase only people with Portuguese roots say." Advait asks, "Like Michael, right?" He says, "Exactly, boss." Meanwhile, Michael's wife is leaving the house to run away with her lover, but she finds him waiting for her outside. She tells him, "Here are the house keys. I want a divorce, Michael. I love someone else, and we're getting married." He says to her, "His name is Charles. You've been talking to him for 6 months, over 3,000 messages on WhatsApp, including some dirty pictures. And you've been sneaking out with him behind my back. You even slept with him once. And today, he's coming to pick you up. Relax, Charles. My wife and I love each other." He grabs this bottle, smashes it over his own head, and shouts, "You're hitting me, Charles? My wife and I love each other, bro. Take your hands off her. Don't hit her. You're hitting my wife? I won't let you get away with this." This, my sweetheart, is exactly what I'll tell your family, and I've got the messages as proof. I'll tell them that your daughter was cheating on me, but when her lover came to take her away, she changed her mind. She didn't want to run away with him, so he beat me up and killed her. And as for the cops, that's already sorted out. Meanwhile, Advait takes Advait with him and drops him off at the very bridge where the incident happened 5 years ago. He tells him, "5 years ago, your story started right here, and I'm ending it here. I just want to know why you did all this, and who was that girl with you?" He replies, "Sarah was my love, my family, and the mother of my child. And this is the spot where the 4 of them murdered her." Advait asks,
Who are the four? He lists them: Victor, Salgonkar, and Yadav. Agashe asks, who is the fourth? He answers, Michael. So Agashe punches him, and Advait hits him back. The cop is about to shoot him, but Agashe pushes him away.
Agashe asks him, why did you pick me? Why was I the one you'd call before every crime you committed? Advait replies, because I wanted justice. Because you're the only man who truly understands what it means to lose someone close to your heart. He asks, and since Michael was one of them, why did you turn yourself in before killing him? Advait explains, because as long as I was out of prison, there's no way Michael was going home. And as long as he's outside his house, it was impossible for him to die. Meanwhile, Michael is telling his wife, I love you so much, grabbing her neck and starting to choke her. Agashe asks Advait, and who is going to kill Michael inside the house while you're over here? He chuckles and says, we'll find out right now. Michael's wife is literally on the verge of death. Just then, he feels the narcotic needle plunge into his neck. Yes, my friend, it's Sarah. Sarah is still alive. She didn't die.
Let me tell you what happened when the cops dragged Sarah and Advait to the police car. Jessie spotted them at that moment, and because she knew they were dirty cops, she tailed them and witnessed everything that went down. When they dumped Sarah in the water, she dove in right after her, pulled her out real quick, and gave her a shot to neutralize the overdose they pumped into her. After that, she goes to Advait, slips him Sarah's bracelet, and reassures him she's okay. But the prison bully and his crew gang up on him and snatch the bracelet away. So he starts training, and day by day his viciousness levels up until he turns into a total beast, completely ready to wipe out the prison boss and all his men. He charges at his guys and starts breaking them one by one, but there are way too many of them. Do you think they'll stop him from getting to their boss? I swear it ain't gonna happen. He finishes them off and gets to their boss. True, the guy is a giant, but does Advait even care? He breaks his bones and takes the bracelet back. So all this chaos you caused was just over a piece of string? Oh, Lord have mercy on us. Anyway, he takes the bracelet and lets out a hellish roar right in the middle of the yard. Meanwhile, Sarah has been tracking every single move of the four cops, setting up the perfect trap for each one of them. Advait gets out of prison, finds everything set up and waiting for him, and starts taking them out one after the other. And the one hitting them with the drug injections wasn't Advait, it was Sarah. And Yadav, just like he threw her in the water, she's the one who tossed him right off the bleachers. She destroyed all of them down to the very last guy, which was Michael. And her final words to him are, Happy Winter Solstice. Agashe tells Advait, you're lying. Just then, his assistant radios in and says, Boss, Officer Michael was killed the exact same way. That means the killer is someone else entirely. Advait tells him, see, finally the night is over. And the night actually wraps up, my friend. Michael's wife tells the cops what happened, saying, it was some stranger wearing a red jacket. I couldn't catch a glimpse of anything. The assistant asks him, what should we write in the report, boss? Agashe replies, don't write anything. Close the case. And sure enough, the whole thing gets swept under the rug. Advait walks free and spends the rest of his life with Sarah. They untie the final knot in their lives. Right then, he pulls her into his arms. Their mission is complete. And right here, the movie ends.
All right, that's a wrap, my friend. Make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment from the heart. If you're really feeling the love, share this video with your crew. And yo, check out the channel. I've got tons of videos you're gonna vibe with. Catch you in the next one.